Hey, I'm Ascending Luna. Welcome to my channel. For today's pick a card reading, we are channeling messages about your shadow self. I have already pre-shuffled some tarot cards and we'll be shuffling some oracle cards for a deeper dive into your shadow. Meditate on each pile and timestamps will be provided down below, okay? So let's start with the piles. So first, this is pile 1 and we got this beautiful clear citrine for pile 1. This is pile 2. This is Angel Aura Quartz. It has this beautiful iridescent. I don't know if you could catch it. It's very beautiful. And then for pile 3, we got blue selenite right here. Okay. I'll see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So let's get started with your reading about your shadow self. Now, this could also be really a great tool for shadow work if you're interested in that. So let's get started. Okay. First card is going to represent the darkest aspect of yourself, and you got the 8 of Cups. So for me, I feel like you are in autopilot. You've had to abandon situations and individuals that have had emotionally hurt you, and you might have had to do it so out of nowhere, out of suddenly, and it's almost all giving me like you kind of lose your spark every single time that you have to leave or move on. Okay, next card we got is the Hermit in reverse. Now, it's always a good thing to take some time to reflect, but this card represents how this affects you the most. It might be that instead of really reflecting, you're such in a hurry to move on that you get caught up in repeating same mistakes and also isolating yourself and not asking for help here. Okay. Again, it's okay to go into Hermit and reflect and gain some inner knowledge, but I feel that you are so accustomed to being disappointed here that you just move on and kind of almost disassociate yourself here. And this affects you overall in all aspects of your life. It makes you very lonely, and it's possibly that you just withdraw from individuals, and you might be also antisocial here. The third card is the Chariot, and this is how you can accept it and heal it. And I feel that even it's great to move on and try to heal things, but it's also important to be proactive about it instead of just trying to like brush it under the rug. That's what I'm getting, like trying to brush under the rug the pain, the hurt, that moving on or letting go of in situations or individuals here. I feel like you have to have some type of determination and willpower to face your emotions here and to ask for help too. Okay. And your next card is how to overcome it. You got the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords talks about betrayal and trying to get away with something. And I feel that with the 7 of Swords and how to overcome this shadow aspect of yourself is stop trying to hide yourself. Stop trying to get away with that letting go does not hurt you, that walking away does not hurt you, that losing a person or a dream or a situation does not hurt you. It's okay to feel that pain, and it's okay to vocalize it too. Okay. And the last card is just an overall little advice from your shadow, and then we'll go into more depth with some oracle cards. Okay. So you got the 10 of Swords. Moving on and letting go has become very easy for you, and you have somehow have become very detached here. But the advice here is that you need to learn the lesson and heal. Because moving on and detaching yourself from whatever it is that has caused you pain is only going to put a band-aid over that open wound. It's only going to cover it up, and eventually it will fester and it will keep on resurfacing until you learn that lesson. Okay? So I feel like with you, you might have had a lot of situations, probably relationships where you attract the same individuals, or when it comes to your success, you might attract the same outcomes because you're not really looking at the bigger picture and the lesson here. Okay, so let's get a little bit more advice for you with some oracle. Let's see. Advice for pile 1, Spirit. Advice for pile 1. Try not to isolate yourself either. Like, I feel like there's so much isolation here. Don't, it's good to have some moments to get some clarity, but I feel like you're doing it too much here. Okay, so we have number 42, homeward. Take yourself out on a date. So get out. Go out. You might like be at home all the time, and Spirit is saying like, go out. Maybe meet some new people, experience some new experiences. Don't get stuck in a rut. Move. Even though you're emotional, well, hypothetically, mentally, maybe you're kind of deceiving yourself that you're moving on, but you're really not. And in order to get yourself moving, you need to start actually physically move. Start doing things. Start talking to people. Start socializing. Okay, what else, Spirit? What else? We got adjustments are required, 3rd quarter moon. Again, like you have to adjust yourself. Get yourself out of a rut. Go out, seek help. I'm also looking at this little dove here. What I'm also getting is don't shut the door on people who are trying to help. It might be that you are, people are trying to reach out to you and you're just like, I'm fine, I'm okay. You have to allow people to help you here. Okay, and let's get a little bit more. What else, Spirit? What else for pile 1? We got Snapdragon, listen with care, speak with kindness. Let me get one more. We got Tulip, you are worth what it is that you desire. Please know that people want to listen and care for you and want to give you that type of support. And I feel like you yourself don't give yourself that support. You might put yourself down like, no, don't feel that way. You're better off that I moved on from this pain here. And yeah, you're better off, but don't also minimize the pain, and don't shame yourself for it either. Okay? Everything happens for a reason. And the reason that certain things don't work out and you have to move on from is because you're worth what you want. And certain situations and individuals that you have to move on from did not match you in that vibration, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull one more spiritual AF card for you. So let me see. We got, your brain speaks total fuckery unless you turn your soul on. So again, I feel like you've been talking to yourself in a very negative way about feeling emotions here. It's okay. Embrace that shadow aspect of yourself, but also allow for your shadow to feel and not be shamed for it. Okay, so I'm going to leave your reading here. I hope this helped you. I will see you in another video. Bye-bye. Hey, Pile 2. Let's get started with your reading about your shadow self, okay? So let's see. This is also a great way to incorporate into shadow work if you're interested in doing so. Okay, so for the first card, it's the darkest aspect of yourself, which is your shadow self. And you got death. Now, death talks about transformation, rebirth, big changes. Think about it like a caterpillar and a butterfly. You know, it goes in stages. You transform. And I feel that this being so, the darkest aspect of your shadow is that you have gone through a lot of transformations here. So for me, it's kind of telling that you have gone through a lot of pain here. You've had to let go and release and restart over and over and over again. You've had a lot of big changes. I mean, seeing the death card is sometimes scary for people, but it's a very beautiful card. And I feel like you're so accustomed to changing constantly, but with that custom comes a lot of pain. So you've gone through some pain here. Really big pain, not just small, because in order to transform sometimes sometimes it's really big. So to me, you might have gone through some really big, painful experiences here. Now the next card is, what area does this affect the most? And you got the Ace of Cups. So this affects relationships for you. Maybe this pain has come from partnerships, romantic, platonic friendships. I feel that you've had a lot of disappointments when it's come to love and relationships. I feel like your emotions might not have been met here. Because to me, the Ace of Cups is, yes, it is about deep emotions and spirituality, but it also, for me, it means filling in your own cup. And I feel like you have depended on your romantic relationships. If this is not romantic, then your friendships, your family, to fulfill an emptiness of something empty inside of you when it comes to your emotions here. And the next card we have is, how do you accept and heal this shadow? And you got the High Priestess, and the High Priestess talks about inner knowledge, intuition, your voice, your higher self here. And I feel like your higher self and your shadow self want to mingle. They want to get together and help you heal. I feel like you don't listen to your intuition when it comes to relationships. Specifically for me, it's going to be romantic here. that you get red flags from the people that you love and you ignore them. And you need to start trusting those little feelings that you get when you become suspicious about the person that you love. I feel like you don't trust your intuition because you might want your cup to be filled so badly that you ignore those red flags, that you ignore your intuition here. And in order to accept your shadow, you need to integrate your higher power, your higher self, your intuition here. And I'm also getting your feminine energy. So healing that feminine energy within you, regardless if you're female or male. Everybody has both masculine and feminine. It's really about nurturing that feminine energy in order to heal that aspect of your shadow self. And the fourth card we got is the Empress. So again, this talks about how to overcome the shadow self. You might have had a mother wound here. Or some type of, this might be a trigger warning, some type of sexual wound here. And Spirit is asking you, and your shadow self is asking you to really nurture and care for yourself. Really embrace creativity inside of you. Embrace your feminine energy here. Heal that. Because when it comes to feminine energy does not seek out. It allows. Everything comes to the feminine energy. And I feel like you've been seeking outside of yourself things to fill you up. And it's time for you to fill your own cup here. And then just a little general advice before I get with the oracle cards. And it's going to be, your advice is temperance. So heal, bring in balance. You need to balance. I'm getting your feminine and your masculine energies inside of you. Okay? Find that balance. Also fill your cup. Fill your cup. You have a lot of healing to do within the self. The healing is not going to come from someone else. It would always feel not enough. I feel like with any type of relationship, romantic relationship, or very deep, soulful relationships, you have always felt like whatever this person was giving you was never enough. And the reason being is because you weren't giving yourself enough here. Okay? So let me get a little bit more advice for you with the oracle. What advice do you have, Spirit? What advice do you have for card two? I got 3 actually. You got Evil Queen. Number 2, you deserve sugar, not salt. So I feel like you have settled for, I'm going to say, mediocre stuff when it comes to love. And you don't deserve mediocre. Okay. You got 19, Lavender. Surround yourself with love. Surround yourself with people who genuinely love you, who give you exactly what it is that you need, but also fill in your own cup. And that will transmute those around you. Surround yourself with friends, with family, with a lover, a partner who is going to give you what you want, what you deserve. And then we have Raindrops, number 39. Take a chance on them. Now, you might, this might be specific for some people, you might have had, you know, your eyes, or you've been in relationships with people who are no good for you, and you kind of know it. You intuitively know it deep down. And you've always had, you know, somebody else who you didn't seem interested in. And Spirit is saying, take a chance on people because they might surprise you here. But if that's not if that does not resonate, then I feel this is also take a chance on yourself. What's the worst that could happen if you stand up for yourself? You get rid of trash. The trash takes care of itself. And you get what you deserve. You'll get somebody who will vibrate in the same frequency as you when it comes to love. Okay? Let's get a little bit more. What else, Spirit? What else? Oh, there's a lot of advice here. I usually only going to pull one, but just asking for two. So you got nothing will come of the situation, and meditate and contemplate. So meditate and contemplate to me is talking about you really need to start listening to your intuition. Meditate. Listen to your gut. Listen to that little nudge. And with nothing will come of this situation, you know that there are certain relationships in your life that you need to let go of. And it's perhaps that with this Scorpio, with this death card, the Scorpio energy here, it's perhaps that you have prolonged endings, and then it would have to be like tower moments, and then is when you let go, when you're really, really hurt. And then that wounds you even more. That wounds your shadow even more, because you're prolonging things that you need to let go of that don't fill your cup. Okay. What else, Spirit? What else? We got lilac. The future is sometimes lost in the wanderings of yesterday. Holding on to things from the past or people that belong in the past. Ooh, Spirit. Holding on to those things, it doesn't allow more beautiful things to come in. It prolongs it. So this is specific for somebody, but sometimes when it comes to love, you need to start putting yourself first here. Okay? Sometimes letting go of toxic partners, you're better off, and you know it. And it doesn't mean that it couldn't work out in the future, but that person also has to match you, and you also have to match your higher self here. I feel like there's a lot of self-love that needs to happen within you. Okay? I'm going to pull one more from my Spiritual AF deck as a last little message from about this shadow self. Let's see. Prayer is dope as F. Prayer to me is also meditating. It's a form of prayer. So definitely start meditating, start praying, positive affirmations here, specifically when it comes to your self-worth and self-love. Okay? Well, I'm going to leave it here. I hope that this helped, and I will see you in another reading. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 3. So let's get started with your reading. Keep in mind it could also be used as a tool for shadow work if you feel like you need some inspiration or help. So let's get started on your messages from your shadow self. Okay. So the first card out is going to be the darkest aspects of yourself, and you got the 3 of Pentacles. Now, to me, this means that you love to work alone. There's also a lot of conflict and competition with others. I feel like you don't like to be part of the team, which is nothing wrong. I don't like being part of a team either. I like to be a lone wolf when it comes to group projects. But with this, with it being the darkest aspect of yourself, I feel I'm getting your ego is inflated here. I feel like you don't like to play nice with others and you like to keep people at arm's length because there's some sort of conflict within yourself, and you feel like you find people, other individuals, as competition. I feel there's a sense of needing to be perfect and show no weakness here. Okay, so the next card we got is the area that affects the most. And this affects your intuition a lot. You not trusting others affects your intuition. I feel like you try to also hide a lot of fears about yourself to others. You don't want people to really see you, so you kind of put a mask on. You keep your secrets close to you. Here, and this affects you in relationships, friendships, family dynamics here, even work. Okay, and then you got, how can you accept and heal this shadow part? And you got the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups talks about partnerships here, more so romantically, but it could be any. And to me, it's giving me family and close friends, and also romantic. Specifically more, I'm talking about close bonds. I feel like you do have a lot of friends, or you have friends, but you keep them at arm's length and nobody really knows you. And in order for you to heal this aspect about yourself, you need to allow people to connect with you. You need to join forces with them. And I feel like your ego is so inflated. I'm sorry, I don't know why Spirit is telling me to say that. It's so inflated that you don't, like, you're giving me this, I don't need no one. I could do everything on my own. And maybe you, at a very young age, you had to be independent. You were kind of forced into it, and that has carried on into your current moment, current reality. I'm sorry. Okay, and then the next card is how to overcome this shadow aspect. And you got the Strength in reverse, and the Strength in reverse talks about having very low self-esteem, not being confident, and also very vulnerable. And I feel that you fear being seen as weak and vulnerable. You have a lot of self-doubt inside of you, and you might not portray that to the world, but inside you have it. And you don't want to keep people around because you don't want people to see you as weak. You might have, growing up, been told that being vulnerable is a form of weakness here. And your shadow self is wanting you to allow people in, allow people to see that vulnerability that you have. You don't have to be strong 100% of the time. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be part of a unit, a team. Okay, and then before I get to your oracle, I'm going to start with the advice. And the last card that you got was the World. And the World talks about resolutions and completion, but also integrating. And Spirit is saying you need to integrate people into your space, into your inner circle. You have people who view you as a very powerful person, and they want to be in your world and you're not allowing them. And your shadow wants friends. Yeah, I'm hearing I want friends. Like, let people in. Okay, so let's get with your oracle. Pile 3. What advice do you have, Spirit, for pile 3? We got raindrops and evil queen, and pile 2 got these same cards too. So maybe random pile 2, I'm not sure, but with this, take a chance on them. Take a chance on people who want to be part of your life. And then with the evil queen, you deserve sugar, not salt. You deserve to be sweet too. You don't have to be bitter. Oh my God, they said bitter. You don't have to be bitter or show like you're tough all the time. Okay? Ooh. Let's see what else. What else? It says balance spirituality and practicality. With the full moon in Pisces here. I feel like you need to start being a little bit more open. I feel like you view the world as black and white. And you need to start viewing it with all aspects of every color, and that includes being vulnerable to people. Okay? Okay, so what else? Got 2. We got baby's breath. Everlasting success is assured if you remain honest and true. And gardenia. Listen to the divine whisper stirring in your heart. With the baby's breath, you need to start being honest and truthful, not only to yourself, but the people around you. And you're not being truthful because you're hiding behind a tough exterior here. And Spirit is saying, be honest with yourself, be true to yourself, and that includes every emotion that you carry within you. And then with the gardenia, listen to the divine whisper stirring in your heart. I feel like you've been feeling a little bit lonely, and you've been wanting to seek out other people's opinions and ideas and advice. And Spirit is saying, like, listen to that intuition. Listen to your intuition, your subconscious telling you, hey, I want to be seen. I'm hearing your shadow saying, I want to be seen. Please. Like, I don't want to have to act tough anymore. Okay, and I'm gonna end this reading with one more advice from my spiritual AF deck. So let's see. Spirit, last message. We got be unfuckable with. I'm gonna have to read this. Hold on. If you find yourself fucked with, take a moment to reflect on what part of you is out of whack and susceptible of being fuckable withable. Then check that shit with some self-love. When you're filled to the brim with love, nothing anyone says or does bothers you, or negativity can touch you. You know what that makes you: a badass, a big old spiritual badass. So I feel like in the past you've had people hurt you really bad, and you put this exterior over yourself, this tough exterior, so nobody could penetrate it. Okay? And yeah, you made it known to the world that you are not one to mess around with. But I still feel like there's people in the world that they want to be part of your life. So it's finding that balance here. It's finding that balance and seeing the good in people just as you see the bad in them. Okay, so I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope this helped, and I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.